Alright, guys, this is going to be a very different video from the other ones that you've seen so far. Today I'm going to explain why I essentially quit everything that I've done so far and what I'm going to do now. And this in some way is going to be a complete reset. So if you haven't watched any of my videos, you're going to see right now every single step of the way, or as many as I can document, where I'm going to build a business, straight the same business, at least that's my goal, that's going to get me to $10 million, or actually euros, so $12 million, whatever, in profit with my business. I have currently, and I just went through my calculations because it's the last day of the month, and for that reason I can clearly tell that I've made about 3,500 euros so far online in revenue. Profit is significantly less, but in revenue, which is maybe $4,500 or something like that. So I have some experience. To be honest, literally starting the business, I've probably done this 1 year ago. Having to do something with business at all is something that I've started a bit more than 2 years ago, right? So that's my experience. And now for the ones that already know my videos, which is probably every one of you because nobody's clicking on that, just, for fun, maybe some person's doing that. So I quit copywriting, I quit appointment setting for my client, I'm quitting essentially every B2B service that I've ever done. Everything that I have ever done as B2B services was copywriting, so helping people get more clients from YouTube. And then appointment setting, which was that I was working with an agency owner and I was trying to book him appointments. The last video on this channel was me doing painful cold calls and setting 2 appointments. And this is probably a good point from where I can explain everything. So I've set that 1 appointment in that video. On the same day, by the way, I set another appointment for that guy. I was very happy about that because that would have meant like $200 for me. But this, on the day where I made that video, what I just wanted to explain is too hard to formulate in English for myself as a retarded non-English first language speaker. So essentially he ghosted me and I have never got a message from him ever again, right? So this person, I don't know what's going on with him, but he's like I said, he's ghosting me, and obviously I'm not going to let my time be wasted because of that. So I had multiple options at this point, right? So I had this one client and I was trying to set appointments for him, and now he's ghosting me. So essentially this client is gone. So the only 2 options that I have is to get a new client and try to set appointments again. And if you have never done cold calls, you probably don't know how much that actually sucks, especially when you don't have conviction in the offer and when you don't like Americans that are pretty pissed off that you call them, and for you it's actually like the middle of the day and you could be doing something way nicer. By the way, I do not have anything against Americans. It's just all of these business owners are Americans for some reason, and yeah, so sometimes you just don't get that culture, especially personally me as a German person that's very direct and very cutthroat and everything. But yeah, that's a story for a whole other day. So I decided to do the other thing, which was doing a completely new business now. And if you have watched any of my videos, or especially the first video where I explained this is going to be my road to 10 million euros in profit, that is my end goal, because with that amount of money you can retire and have a pretty good life without having to work ever again. I guess that makes sense. And in order to get there, I want to have a high-ticket business. And in case you know Charlie Morgan is pretty much the main mentor that I have right now, because it's stupid to have 5 different people telling you what you should be doing. And Charlie Morgan is pretty successful. He started when he was 2 years older than I am right now. So he started with 18 years old. I'm 16 years old, and from the philosophy that he has, just the overall mindset, there are some slight things that I disagree with him, but 99% literally I'm agreeing with his standpoints. And obviously he's making $1 million a month or something, and that's where I want to go as well. And so for that reason I want to build a business that looks similar to his. obviously my offer is going to be different, and because you can't do the exact same thing, that's just stupid. You have to do something else, and obviously he is a different individual than I am, so he has different special skills than I have, and he has probably also different passions than I have. And what I'm essentially doing is I'm going to build a high-ticket business. I probably have already said that. I'm sorry for wasting your time. My speaking is trash. I have to improve that. I'm going to do that quite soon. Okay, well, maybe it's just going to take another year. But I wanted to sell a coaching service for people in the productivity / time saving context, right? The niche that I decided on is agency owners again, for multiple reasons. I've done some research. The main reason is just I already know the niche. They have money. The niche is growing, and they're pretty likable people, right? Because they're working hard. They have the same goals and ambitions as I have, and for that reason, I like to work together with them. And the problem that I'm going to solve for them is going to be that I want to save them time, right? I just want to help other people save time, because time is the most valuable asset that we have. Time and money are the most valuable assets that one can have, and I don't know if besides that and energy there is any other asset in that sense. Obviously relationships and all that kind of stuff, but I just want to help people save time, and that's something that I'm pretty good at, or I will consider myself being pretty good at. Well, it's funny that exactly here you can see a clock. It's like old style, whatever, doesn't matter. But I want to help people increase their productivity, right? So if you want to save time, law of physics, you either shorten the amount of what you want to do, or you do it faster, or you do both, right? So very simple explanation, right? If you have speed in sense of like how fast a car is, for example, is just the amount, so the distance divided by the time. So kilometers per hour for the Americans, miles per hour, and whatever you can say there, but that's how speed is working, and time is just the distance divided by the speed, right? So you can either increase the speed or lower the distance, and I have multiple ways of cutting the amount of tasks that I have to do, so essentially doing something way quicker just because I need to do that, because I probably feel like I'm pretty good at determining whether something is very important or not, and I've removed tons of things even from this room that I'm sitting in right now. And yeah, that's the first thing that you can do. And obviously, more importantly, I'm pretty good at increasing the speed at which I'm doing stuff. And there are again tons of different ways, and I'm going to build a pretty concise way of solving that problem of like not having enough time for all sorts of things, whatever you want to do in the time that you're going to have afterwards, probably more work if you're an agency owner. And in terms of being faster, if you see me right now, this is probably the first video that you're seeing where I'm sitting at the desk at this particular point. And the reason why I've done this is because I'm immediately below the sky. So that's a pretty cool thing. I'm just happy when I'm working here. So it's a lot brighter, it's healthier, and I just want to do more like work in that sense. And there are tons of other things. I'm not even sitting on a real, I'm sitting on like a freaking gymnastic ball because it's better for my back, and it just makes more fun if you can jump around like you have ADHD during the work, right? Some people maybe don't want to do that, but these are pretty simple things that one can do that significantly, obviously these are just two things, right? Both of these might, increase my performance by 1%, but if you have hundreds of these, like 300, if you have 1.01 to the power of 300, you're probably like 30 times better than before, right? And I don't know if that makes actual sense and if that actually is going to work for people. I hope so. And I'm going to be doing some deep work on how I can help people save time, but that's what I want to do, right? And now about the actual journey. So what have I done so far, right? Today is the 31st of May in 2025, and I've started that business. Let me quickly find that out. Whatever. Let me quickly check that. So essentially, I really started to do the work fully was on 27th, 28th of May, so 3 to 4 days ago, I started this business. And what I've done so far is that I've picked the niche. Like I said, agency owners, I've already explained why I want to pick that particular niche. You could honestly pick any niche that is having like per people that have a business, and that because every business owner wants more time essentially, and you just need to make sure that they actually have money to afford something. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do in terms of the niche. And I've picked something that I'm passionate about, and this is probably the highest leverage thing I've done in this month entirely, right? I haven't made a single dollar in this month because my client didn't pay me, and I don't even know if the people showed up to the appointments. Maybe he didn't even show up to the appointments himself. Then I would have technically made $200, but he didn't pay me, so nobody cares, right? I've made nothing, but that leverage decision to do something where you save other people time, so in my case, something where I'm passionate about, is incredibly important. Maybe other people tell you, yeah, passion doesn't matter in business. Well, if you want to stay in business for any length of time or for more than a year, then if you're happier at doing what you're doing, you're just going to be more productive. Your subconscious is going to generate ideas that are going to help your business. Your life's just going to be better, and just from that perspective, you're going to be more successful. You're also going to be more able to defeat other people in business, so your competition, just because you like the stuff that you're doing more. I don't know if there's so probably there are tons of people who are already saving other people time in business, and tons of performance coaches, productivity coaches, everything like that. I'm just going to be able to build a very big business there, because most people are just focusing on B2B services in terms of marketing or some stuff like that, right? That's the first thing. And that's also the exact reason why I stopped doing copywriting, because I just hate it. And if you're watching this video right now and you're doing copywriting or something, and just for 1 second, be completely honest with you. Forget about the money. You're going to make money if you are staying in the same niche, have the same offer for a longer time. Just think about, do you actually like do you like persuading other people for offers where you don't really understand, okay, this is probably somewhat good? Do you like putting yourself into the situation of other people over and over again, because you're going to have different clients in different sorts of niches? Do you like selling to other people, or not actually selling but marketing, right? You're not a closer, you're someone who's like writing copy, whatever, right? If you don't, right, if you're watching this video and you're not saying absolutely fuck yeah, I love marketing to other people, and I love understanding the specific circumstances and conditions of other people, and I love seeing what they want, and I love writing stuff, and I love writing the same fucking text 3 times after another, and looking at the text and trying to find out what combination of words is the best. If you don't like that, then don't do it. There are so many copywriters out there, and there's some right, when I don't know if you are a religious person or not. I personally am, and I'm going to say when God created us. You might just say when natural selection created us, and I believe in both actually, whatever. When we as humans were created, or when we as individuals were created, we were created with specific individual skills and passions and things that we're pretty good at, right? And these are pretty unique, right? They're obviously not 100% unique, because there's probably another person that likes involving, in productivity, but there's like very specific skill set down to the micrometer or whatever is actually unique. What I'm saying with that is that you have an edge just because you're different than other people, and you have to figure out what you actually are better than other people, and you probably have to think about this for some longer time and think about what am I good at, why am I good at this. Probably when you're good at something, you actually also like it, and then you can start to figure out how you can do something in context with a good niche that's actually going to help you, right? I don't know what just happened to my voice. I'm not sad or something, I'm not crying, I'm just crying when it comes crying, weird German accent stuff, right? Crying when I'm thinking about that I've done copywriting, this fucking bullshit that I don't even like and haven't been too successful with for a year, right? I could have started with that business that I'm having right now early on. Obviously I didn't do nothing in that time, and obviously I have made money, and obviously I've also helped some people and built some stuff with pretty good conversion rates and stuff like that, but it doesn't fulfill me at all. And at the end, if you want to win in business, the thing that you need is just a good service, product, whatever. The thing that the people pay for has to be incredibly good. So good that the people are just going to tell their friends about that in the best case, and in a way where people don't want refunds from you, right? Because it's going to be so much easier to sell, it's going to be so much easier to market / book appointments with the people, just because you have conviction and because you can show other people that the stuff that you're doing is working. And that's going to only happen if you're actually good at what you want to do, and you're going to become good at what you want to do if you just like it, right? If that's something that you're passionate about. And a few videos ago I said, like, don't follow your passion business. I'm going to say the opposite, really. Obviously, for some part, there are things that one might be passionate about that don't actually help them. You know, I have to stand up now because I don't want to sit anymore. There are tons of things that people might be passionate about that are not going to be valuable for anyone. And obviously, I could also do different, like whatever. I personally, for example, I could say that I like accounting in some way. I like to do stuff with numbers. But that's just not as valuable, for example, as helping other business owners save time, right? And that's like one facet. But usually, you just want to do something that you're passionate about. It's incredibly important, and this is probably going to affect your life more than every other video could do. Obviously, if you're making tons of millions of dollars, it's going to be pretty good, and some videos teach you how to do that. But you just want to have fun on your journey, right? And that's only going to happen if you do something that's actually fun. I think I'm talking in circles already. I probably don't have any other. Oh yeah, what have I actually done after picking the niche? Important thing. So after I picked my niche, and after I knew that, okay, I want to probably help them get better at saving time, I actually had to figure out, is that actually something important? And what I've done in the last few days is two things. I found the Instagram accounts from agency owners, ironically mostly OnlyFans marketing agency owners, because that was like the first one that I found. And my method of finding people on Instagram is just to see who are they following, and then I just message all the other people as well, right? And if you find one type of person that's having an OnlyFans marketing agency, which is not really something that one might be actually doing, I personally wouldn't be passionate about that at all, because it's not helping anyone. It's just going, apart from like the OnlyFans owner. But yeah, other people have miserable lives. Anyway, you're just going to find similar people, right? So I found them on Instagram, and I've messaged them about their problems and pain points. Obviously, I haven't told them like I'm a business owner and stuff. I just told them, as Charlie Morgan recommended, I'm doing like a college paper on that, and I pretended that I'm like some random UK student at a university, and fortunately I look like someone who might be a student as well, so that worked pretty well. And I also have a pretty good Instagram account from a friend who has like 1,000 followers or something. So that also made it a bit easier, but you'll get response. I created like a new account, even got responses there from people, even though I had like 2 followers or 1 follower, and these were just random people who started sending me requests, and they basically told me some things that they don't like about their business, or things that annoy them, and it mostly comes back to them wasting time or energy on things. So if people talk about like bad staffs, or like bad contractors, whatever, people working for them are not so good, people who don't like getting like outreach messages from other people who don't like doing outreach themselves, all of these things are costing time for the people. So I believe I essentially just confirmed what I thought already that would be valuable to the niche, and that was the first thing I was doing. And the other thing was, I started using like YouTube accounts that I already had. I deleted the history. Essentially, they look like brand new YouTube accounts. And what I then started to do is I just started watching content, right? And obviously, agency owners, like appointment setting could even there's Yoda. Appointment setting could even be like considered like an agency owner or whatever. So the content that they watch is actually pretty similar to what I will watch anyway in my free time. So it was actually not too hard. But from watching the like content that an agency owner would watch, I could start to understand some more things. And people are really just, these people are just working 12-hour days and stuff like that, or at least many of them. And there are tons of people in that space who are already doing like 7 figures, right? And if someone is making $1 million a year or $100,000 a month, that's not going to be too hard to charge them like maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, $11,000, $10,000 for something that's going to help them significantly increase their productivity. And the only thing that you have to make sure is then that people are not actually already doing what you want to advise them, you know. So that's another thing, but that's pretty possible because most people don't know like too much about the like performance improving thing, right? So that's what I've done, and today I created my offer specifically. I also created the pricing stuff, and I'm currently thinking about a company name. Probably going to call it like Time Back or something very simple. Time Back Agency, Time Back, whatever, something like that. Time Back Performance, whatever. You just need to have a very simple company name. That's going to be something that I'm going to be doing next week, and yeah, that's really the thing that I've done so far to start my business, and that's what I can tell you right now. I can't tell you if that's going to make me money this year. I can't tell you if that's going to make me money next year, but that's going to be what I will be sticking to for the long run. I'm promising you that I'm not going to change the. I'm promising you that I'm either going to stick to the niche or to the actual like product slash service, right? Because maybe it's not about time, but still about agency owners, or agency owners don't care too much about their time and effectiveness, but other people do, right? And I don't know that, but I promise you that I won't be doing like ADHD like switches like 3 times in the last, I don't know, 2 months, right? And when I promise something, it's not like an easy take, right? I can't promise you anything about the outcomes. I can only promise you the inputs, and the input of changing your niche might be following an output of realizing that that stuff doesn't actually work. But if I'm promising something, I'm just going to do that, right? And I'm promising you that this video is going to end before it's 23 minutes long. So that's what I've learned. Tons of things. What you can take from this video is a little recap. Follow your passion. Find something that you can actually that you actually like, or that you want to get good at, or that you are already good at. And then you have to find out, or essentially multiple things of these, right? And then you want to figure out a niche, so people that you might be interested in as well, and that have money, that are getting more and more, so a market that's growing, right? And that are in a painful situation, right? So something where solving their problem, like saving them tons of hours a week, is pretty valuable for them, right? And then you just want to connect that to something that you're personally good at. That's the most important thing that you can take from this video. And yeah, essentially when you're not having a business, when you're having a business, just start to do that stuff, and that's going to help you a lot.